Well, I was always into boxing. I was just like watching the fights, but as it is as a kid, you have other things that you're into. Mine was eating. I liked food. I had to study and things like that. And yeah, I was always good at fighting. Unfortunately, fights always presented themselves. I just was always into boxing, always liked watching boxing on TV. So when I found out there was a gym nearby, I went. Educated pressure. I'm fan friendly, but I don't lead with my face. I'm very defensive minded, but I'm aggressive and I'm persistent. I believe pressure bursts pipe. I am non-stop. Go forward, tuck up, I defend, I pick my punches. Yeah, I'm kind of like a hybrid. Do you know what? I admire so many different fighters for different reasons, Jack Johnson for his mental strength. The fact that he had half a country, or more than half a country against him, and he just ignored it and did his own thing. And Muhammad Ali, Roberto Duran, I love his style, love his tenacity, love his angles, love his inside fighting. Recently-ish, like last 20 years, I taught Agati, because he's like the real life Rocky. Diego Corrales. I like a lot of fights with heart, because you can't teach heart. And I admire fights like that. My favorite style to watch is James Toney. I love his relaxed, effortless style. It's very nice, easy on there. It was more of a difficult era. They fought more often, and just they had a different style of fighting. Kind of like now, it's more outside, and before it was more inside, and subtle little tricks, and fighters fought, other top names, and there was less politics. There was politics, there's definitely politics, don't get me wrong. There always is, and there always will be in boxing, but less so, more fighters fought each other. But I don't know, I'm a student of the game, I guess, and I like to read about the past fighters and things like that, and you hear their stories and how they grew up, and they had subtle tricks, because at the end of the day, these guys were fighting 15 rounds, month in, month out. You have to pick up a lot of subtle tricks, and nowadays the fighting wants to be twice a year or something like that, and I think there was more teachers back in the day, less trainers. Well, the Mexican culture is totally different to the one in England. Very, very different. And it's almost surreal. I was in England, and you get very spoiled in England. You get free healthcare. It's a lot less crime. It's a lot cleaner. You don't see poverty, real poverty. In Mexico, you see a lot of that. But they've got really great culture in Mexico, and really, I've met some of the nicest people I've ever met in Mexico, and I've got a lot of great friends out there, basically a second family out there. I love Mexico. I love the culture, the food, everything about Mexico is great. As far as the boxing is concerned, it's got very, very big boxing heritage there, and they're very proud of their boxing heritage. And in Mexico City, where I was, there was always a gym, on every corner. The taxi drivers were ex-professional fighters, You can always just everyone knew boxing there, and everyone loved and respected boxing. Coming up in the Romanta gym with Marquez and Johnny Gonzalez, and a lot of other good fighters, and of course Nacho Beristain being the head trainer there. It was almost like a boxing school, boxing university. Every day I went there, and it was look, don't get me wrong, there were hard days, and it was hard being away from my family, hard being away from being in a different culture, especially when I was first there as well. I didn't know the language, and bit by bit I adjusted. It was good, it was really good, learning what I learned. Not only learned how Juan Manuel Marquez, how he fought and things like that, because Nacho Beristain, it's not just Marquez who fights that way. Nacho kind of teaches this specific style with the lead hand up, the lower hand, the back hand a bit lower. But yeah, he teaches a specific technique, and it's nice to learn that. And just not only that, but the way he conducted himself, very business-like, very methodical. A lot of people are gonna like my style because I bring it. I bring pressure. I don't come to dance around, but I'm not, like I say, I'm not a face-first fighter. Defensive-minded, but I'm attacking. So, you know, almost like a Winky Wright. He was aggressive, but he was defensive-minded. But yeah, I envisage a lot of success. Busy, productive, exploding on the scene. Been around, I've been fighting, but I feel that a lot of people are gonna know who I am by the end of the year. I'm gonna explode on the scene, and I'm just gonna smash everyone put in front of me. Everything's coming this year. And at the end of it, a lot more people will know who I am.